Alright, so if you want to know the entire story of what happened to me and my situation, please visit my YouTube channel, My Medical Nightmare, and I've assembled there over 10 hours of video documentation on my injury, the misdiagnosis, and I put all my images and records up there. I live in the state of Alabama in the United States of America. If you want to file a complaint against a hospital and you call the state of Alabama and the offices responsible for handling these things, they will direct you to this organization. It's called the Joint Commission, and they are responsible for accrediting and some kind of oversight and regulation of hospitals in Alabama. All right, and I did this in late 2020. I went to St. Vincent's East Hospital Emergency Department located in Birmingham, Alabama. This is an Ascension hospital. And I had multiple visits there from an injury that exists. It's in my upper neck and my head. And I thought that I had broken my neck in 2018. I went there repeatedly complaining of this same injury over the course of about a year and a half. And every time I'd go, I would have a heightened or a more complicated scanning technique applied to this injury area. I had an x-ray done there, had a computed tomography CT scan done there on one visit without contrast. Several months later, I had another CT scan done with contrast, and I had an MRI done at a satellite facility of St. Vincent's Hospital in Ascension. And okay, the basis of my complaint: I would repeatedly go to these doctors and hospitals complaining of broken bone or some very serious injury. I couldn't move my head. Neck felt like it was broken. They would do these scans, and every time the doctors would come back and they would tell me that I had no injury, or that I had just pulled a muscle in my neck. And I knew this wasn't the case. I knew it was more serious, but I didn't have insurance, and I didn't have a source of income at the time of these visits. And they asked me about this before they proceeded with the treatment plan. And I believe I was a victim of patient dumping. And this is a EMTALA violation. EMTALA, it's United States federal law requiring hospitals to treat patients based on their injuries when they go in for these scans and with these concerns in the emergency departments of these hospitals in the United States of America. And I believe that the misdiagnosis, this was used as a vehicle to circumvent compliance with this law. And this is bad news for me as a patient, because I had a very serious injury and was possibly dying. At the same time, the doctors were doing these scans that were resulting in bills for several thousands of dollars with my name on it. And I was expected to pay these sums of money to these doctors, and they weren't doing their jobs properly. And I discovered this because, as I just said, they said I had no injury. I knew better, all right? And I went and got my records from the hospital. I got my original images. I looked in these images, and I looked at the radiologist reports that said that there were no injuries, okay? No broken bones or anything like that. And in the area where I was complaining and had this pain that didn't go away for many months, I found broken bone And I'll put up my records here, and the world can see this. All right, you don't have to be a doctor to see these things. So yeah, it looks like I had a pebble-sized piece of bone. It broke off the underside of my skull. The fluid, CSF fluid, that's the fluid between your brain and your skull inside your head. This leaked out of this wound into my upper neck, and this complicated over time. And you can see the evidence of the complication of this injury through these scans that were taken by St. Vincent's Hospital, Ascension. And this area became infected and possibly infested with some type of parasite organism. And I almost died from whatever was going on. And I really don't know, because I was repeatedly misdiagnosed. But I had to figure out what had happened to me on my own, and I was able to self-treat and try to recover from this thing. And I wasn't happy with what happened to me. Still aren't happy. And I sought out to remedy this situation, because this is unacceptable. It's inexcusable. Late 2020, I found this contact for the Joint Commission. It says here, the Joint Commission on Accreditation of Healthcare Organizations, TJC, is an independent nonprofit organization that accredits a number of hospitals in Alabama and nationwide, ensuring compliance with the federal standards. Complaints related to quality of care and patient safety at accredited hospitals may be filed on the Joint Commission website. And this is according to the Alabama Hospital Association. Alright, so I went there and then I filed the complaint. I got this reply in December 2020. And it says here, thank you for sharing your concerns with Joint Commission regarding St. Vincent's East, a Joint Commission accredited organization. Alright, and then they say, the Joint Commission does not assess specific care of an individual patient, thus we are unable to tell you if appropriate medical care has been provided, nor can we provide case management services or advocate on behalf of any individual. Instead, our evaluation focuses on processes and policies that are required within our standards. You should understand that our purpose is to help improve the quality and safety of care. Alright, so my complaint, it was dismissed and thrown out. It was basically, I was told that my complaints didn't have merits. And I think this is unfair. Because what happened to me, you can go check this out for yourself. I visited this hospital repeatedly. I was repeatedly misdiagnosed, and there appears to be some type of concerted effort not to relate the truth of my injury. At the same time, the records reflect something different than what the doctors are telling me. And this is not an individual situation. This is a widespreading, concerted effort by multiple individuals, and this should be a concern for any person that works in this hospital, any patient who visits this hospital for care. All right, and this is a safety concern. So the Joint Commission, I consider my complaint to be open, and if you want to contact me, you can do so. You can email me at futurecloneguy@gmail.com. That's FUTURECLONEGUY@gmail.com. This is a Google email address. And I'll be happy to communicate with you, to share my records, to give you permission to go get my original records. So you don't have to trust me, okay? It's all in there. If you just get the facts, get the records, and you have some way to evaluate this stuff, you'll see what I'm talking about. And this is worthy of a complaint.